Let me just ask you a couple of quick questions. Just some advice to different people. If I was a CEO, what advice would you give me if you were asked to be given, just any, general advice to a CEO?
Okay. Well, as a coach, I usually don't give advice because I actually believe that the CEOs that I consult with, they have all the answers.
Okay.
So I guess my proposal to them is to become more awake to themselves, so that they can find the resources they most need, and if that's absent in their life, what can they do to pursue it? So I guess my issues with CEOs is, and I think they don't really want to be told anyway. Don't you think so? I mean, all people who are high performers actually like to think that they can discover the answers. They might want a shortcut. So perhaps if there was a piece of advice, I would actually say, be a bit more awake. Okay,
fantastic. What if I am a HR director and I take care of all the people in my company? What advice would you give me?
Okay, again, be awake.
Okay, so everybody needs to be awake here.
I think so, because don't you think that sometimes we slumber through life, hoping that, there'll be a process given to us, and then we throw our hands up in the air and say, oh, victim, 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 why are they doing it to us? Because anything that happens, I believe, at some level, you've attracted in there as a learning opportunity. Or perhaps, I mean, like for instance, if you've got a tough boss, perhaps, it'll toughen you up. And maybe it'll test your zeal about, is this really where the passion you want to go? So to me, as a HR person, which is really hard, because I think the HR people, if you're watching, you have the toughest job, because you're sort of the sandwich in between. You
don't have the power, but yet you need to. You need
to almost look like you have the power, and sometimes you've got to be pleasing senior management, as well as the frontline supervisors that have to implement. So somewhere you're tossed in between. Quite a tough place.
Let me ask you one or two more. If I'm a salesperson, I know you're about to write a chapter in a book on this, called the Sales Compendium. If I'm a salesperson, what advice would you give me?
Guess what?
What?
Be a bit more awake.
All right.
And again, I think a lot of salespeople have grown up in a culture or been mentored by getting results, no matter what. And I think relationships sometimes fall by the wayside. But the great salespeople, regardless of era or age, always build relationships. And the way to build relationships, first of all, you need to understand yourself. So if you try to understand the other party too much, you can get swayed by them if you don't understand yourself well enough. But if you are too staunch in what you believe and have no time for others, then you can't connect. So the idea for me is to be awake to who and what you believe in, to be able to understand what the needs of the person that you're selling to. And in fact, you're not selling when you're actually inviting them to look at a product that can change their lives. To me, they're a missionary. I've come to save your life.
With our product, right?
If you want to, but I need to understand you to see whether this fits. And if it doesn't fit, you know what? The greatest salespeople have actually said, you know what? Don't buy this because it'll be bad for you. And how many times have a customer said, that's the best person? I'll always deal with that person because they were honest. So it's a relationship in the end.
Fantastic. Last question. If I was a college grad, just graduated, coming out to the workforce, what would you tell me?
Again, look to some role models and also to look at yourself. Again, read some books of others that you would like to emulate in your life. Biographies are great because you don't actually need to meet a person. You can actually learn a lot from reading biographies. I would also start looking at your own values so that you're not totally swayed by these people, because even some of the greatest heroes have got vulnerabilities. And you really want to think, oh, I'm actually stronger than that hero in those areas, and really be proud of that. So read yourself, learn to read your own book. There's a lot of blank pages that you can fill. And if you know where you want to go, then you can actually learn how to fill those pages usefully from the word go. Okay,
fantastic. Any final thoughts or any final things you want to tell us?
Well, first of all, Roshan, I think you're an amazing leader, and I'm really privileged to be on your show, because I hear your social organization with the Leaderonomics is to actually, get sort of a business model where you can actually add back to society. So to me, that's, charity begins at home.
Exactly.
And I'm all for it, and congratulations.
Yvonne, thank you so much for being on our show. Appreciate your time being with us.
My pleasure, Roshan.
Thank you, everyone. This is Yvonne Sum, doctor, dentist, mother, coach, you name it, TV actress, and right here on the Leaderonomics show. Thank you.